Can you tell me what you thought of the lesson today? I thought it was like amazing.
I think so. I really loved it. Filling out the blank space as usually the church is giving us outline,
Yeah.
listening to the pastor and following the steps. And I really enjoyed the service.
Yeah. So I was up running video per usual. It was talking about spiritual warfare and everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was it's very powerful. I think I love what he said when he was talking about how you can get so easily distracted and interested in the spiritual realms that you lose focus on God. And I've definitely had to repent before because I've done that. Yeah. Is it like that in Ethiopia and Africa too? Like, do people get too focused on like the spiritual side of things and not who God is?
I don't know. Let me think.
Yeah.
Um, Originally, before the Christianity came from the West, Africa has a God that they believe in who created this earth and heaven.
The God of the Bible?
Well, they have no idea about the Bible. They have never seen it until the
Mm.
West brought it.
Yeah.
The Christianity and Muslim came from the Arab, and Christianity came from the West.
Okay. I'm listening.
So they didn't know about the Bible. They just know God. So when people say African is pagan, that's not true.
Mm.
We believe in God, but through the Bible, we were introduced to Jesus.
Okay. When do you know when that happened?
That is after Second World War, I believe, if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay. I literally learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I thought Christianity was in Africa before it ever transitioned to Europe or the
No,
West or
that is
anything like
after the
that.
colonization. We had, for example, my ethnic group, the largest ethnic group in Ethiopia, actually in Africa,
Okay.
we believe in Waka. Waka means God.
Waka.
Yes, Waka.
Okay.
So that is the religion we call it Wakefata.
Like WAKA or WAGA?
WA Waka WAQA Waka.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a God, and we believe in God who created everything on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Christianity came from West. People are open to it because it aligns. We believe in God, the Bible believe in God, and then we were introduced to Jesus. So it didn't take much to accept Jesus.
Okay.
Of course, there's an area the Bible is not there yet. We're working on sharing the love of God
Mm-hmm.
and bringing people to Christ. But I just want you to know we believe in God before the Christianity came
Right.
from
So
the West as well.
if I'm hearing you correct, you knew that there was a God and then
Is,
is God,
yeah.
right? And then when Christianity came along after World War II, you guys got introduced to Jesus and
Mm-hmm.
got the Father. Like
Yeah.
you were able to put a name to the face, essentially.
Yeah, in fact, when it comes to my ethnic group Oromo, we were forced to speak in different language, Ethiopian language that Ethiopia was ruled by minority
Mm-hmm.
due to the colonization system. So we were forced to learn and speak their own language, which is Amharic. So we didn't get a chance to have a Bible in our own language. So we had to learn Amharic, and yeah, uh, in school, our language was banned for many, many years.
Okay.
It's because of a person who was sold 8 times as a slave. He came back to Ethiopia through Eritrea and interpreted Bible into Afar Oromo, my native language. His name is Onesimos Nasib. Him and Aster Kano, the friend who really supported him, they interpreted Afar Oromo for the first time
Mm-hmm.
and wrote a Bible.
Whoa.
That is a big achievement. This person was sold 8 times as a slave.
So, like, when people talk about like modern day slavery and they talk about people being sold and all that good stuff, like I really don't feel like people like me and people listening and watching truthfully understand that. Because you came from like an oppressive government and society, right?
Mhm.
Can you kind of explain what that's like? Because we got a lot of freedom over here.
Well, the oppressive system is very deep. It's hard to speak it in a short period of time.
Right.
As an Oromo, in before the colonization, Oromo, my ethnic group, had its own governing system that is called Gada democratic system.
So Oromo had that democratic system.
Yes, before the
Okay.
colonization.
Okay.
That is recently different countries are promoting and liking it because it's very democratic. The leaders will be elected by the people,
Mm-hmm.
and the elected person can only stay in power for 8 years.
That's still a long time.
Well, 8 years is a really good because they have been mentored to come to the power, and they had
Yeah.
to stay in the power for 8 years.
8 consecutive years.
Yes,
Okay.
8 years, and that person has to show and prove can lead the ethnic group, which is Oromo.
Right.
And now it's called Oromia. Our country is Oromia. After 8 years, that person will become voluntarily advisor.
Okay.
That is very democratic, and equality is served. Gada system is misunderstood a little bit, saying it's only man dominant, but woman has their own right as well. It is called Sike. It's parallel, equally handled. Sike, the woman has her own leadership style and being treated equally.
That's good.
And involved in decision making.
Yeah.
But after Second World War, that Gada system was broken due to the colonizers who came from Europe, from the West. And it's the majority, and the biggest reason is colonizers. With that all being said, there is some issues that weaken the system from within as well.
Right.
So after that system is dismantled, we were sold as a slave many times to different countries.
Like you yourself, or
no, my people.
Okay.
The Oromo was
Oromo
sold.
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lot of sold to Arab countries, lot of sold to Europe,
Mm-hmm.
in America, South Africa. Even there's a lot of stories that I read in New York libraries. The stories are there, pictures are coming out. So we were sold as a slave as any other people in Africa.
God, dude. I have so many questions, Mimi. Like, I do want you to introduce yourself to everybody for whoever's watching or listening, because I'm not good at intros. So, can you tell us who you are?
Sure. My name is Dureti Tadesse. That's my legal name, and my nickname is Mimi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm known as Mimi. I got both names at the same time since I was a child, so Mimi is easy for many people. They call me Mimi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that does your name like mean something? I know African names have a lot of meaning sometimes.
Mimi is just like a little girl that they usually give that name.
Okay.
But Dureti has a very beautiful name.
Okay.
Which I'm so grateful and happy about it now. Not happy about it long time ago when I was a child, because they were teasing me because of the colonization. Oromo is not good enough. More my ethnic background came like from slavery system that was treated that way. So our name is not good enough, our language is not good enough, our culture is not good enough. So they were teasing me because I have different name in the city.
Right.
I even asked my parents to change my name because I didn't want to deal with that, and they empowered me in a way. I love my name.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that. So Dureti means rich in many ways. It's not just money, but rich in many
I
ways,
like that.
which I love it too.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So, was it people that looked like you that were teasing you?
They're not Oromos.
Okay.
They're not my from my ethnic group.
Right.
They're Amharas. In Amhara was in power, so they think they're up here and their language is perfect, their culture is perfect, they're better. So teasing me and teasing others, other Oromos, is just putting us down, which they really increased our creativity. They never killed us.
Yeah.
They made us stronger.
Yeah.
So
When you talk about the Oromo and where you're from and everything, it sounds like something. And no disrespect, it definitely sounds like something out of a movie. Because I see you and you walk with so much grace and faith. I'm like, you must have been here the whole time, or have been like this the whole time. Uh, and you said you struggled to even respect your own name.
yes,
That's crazy.
that is crazy. And even my father had to have different name,
Mm.
and he had to name his children to Ethiopian name as well. Having our traditional name can obstacle us not to have a job, not to attend schools,
Wow.
because
Because of your name.
yeah,
Wow.
even the Oromos are in Ethiopian constitution. Oromos are banned not to speak their own language, not to go to school passing sixth grade. Yes, and then in some areas third grade, and then they were kicking people out of from the class because of our ethnic background.
And it's still like that?
No, it changed now because of the brave freedom fighters who sacrificed
Uh-huh.
their life, their family, their marriage, but brought that kind of change. And my husband is one of those who was in prison for more than 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, being a voice for the voiceless,
Yeah.
fighting for poor farmers.
Mm-hmm.
He was arrested from his dormitory school right before his graduation in Addis Ababa University. And he was kept in prison just because he voiced his voice to protect others.
There's like, first of all, how have I known you this long and haven't heard the story in full? Like, this is why I love sitting down with people like you, because you really get to hear the long, drawn out, cinematic type of like story that you have. And it's important for people who walk around and see you smile with all this confidence and strength all the time to know that you came from very humble beginnings, like very oppressed beginnings. Like, and shout out to your husband too for being one of those people that stand up and talk about it, like, what was that like? Were you with him when he was fighting like that, or?
No, at that point I was young.
Okay.
I was living with my mom. But I can share during the youngsters university students were struggling for freedom.
Yeah.
In Ethiopia, Christianity was banned too during communist regime.
Okay.
So all churches were closed. So my mother gave her house to be used as underground church. So I grew up underground church, being my mom's house,
Mm-hmm.
living in the house, but it became a church.
Wow.
Which
So the communist regime, I thought communism like supported everybody having the same resources and everything. Why would they close the churches?
well, they don't believe into any belief Christianities.
Right. I see. I see why people hate it here now. Okay,
Yeah,
I get it.
so we were rejected from the government aspect, and also a lot of people were not Christian in neighborhood. They were rejecting us, mocking among us. There's a time that they throw stones against us as a kid. Um, yeah, fear after fear, being seen by the government workers, hated by neighbors because we are born again Christian, and not allowed to worship loudly, prayed loudly. We had to hide everything.
Wow,
So
dude.
People come to our house from the back of the yard, from the front yard, one by one. They cannot get into the house once because we will be caught.
Found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. Fear was part of my life, but never broke me.
It would have broke me. I can't even say God's name out loud. Like,
Well, without God, there's no life. I'm thankful that my mom really stick to Jesus and introduced Jesus to us
mm-hmm.
in our family. He's our refuge. He is our hiding place.
Yeah.
He's our everything. Everything. My family and I, we cannot imagine ourselves to survive without Jesus.
Right.
So,
what was that like? Was it like governing officials or police on the street looking for Christians? How did that work?
well, they cannot just go and look, but it's official saying churches are closed. It's not allowed. It's official.
Oh my gosh!
So since
man.
it's official, we had to hide it.
Mm.
I remember my mom was hiding Bible, some tracts, some related to Bible notes, hiding in somewhere in the house, and then when the people come to pray, she will bring it out. She was in a high risk in that aspect. My father-in-law, which I didn't know him that time, I learned that after I got married. He was in prison because he was the first pastor in Ethiopia, Lutheran pastor. They were preaching and planting churches. He was arrested as well.
Mm.
And people that I know during my age, like Pastor Tasfai, Luba Tasfai, there are two of them, the two Tasfais, and the choir. Even my sister was in the choir. She was arrested because she was singing. I was told by my mom to drop some food at the prison
mm-hmm.
for the Christian prisoners.
Yeah.
That was my experience. I had no idea that we were risking our life by
100%.
dropping food. But
100%.
as a kid, so
because they could have just thrown you in there too.
Yeah, who knows what they're going to do? But
yeah.
my mom took a lot of risks to support Christians, and Jesus has been in our life. Still, He is, and He will be there forever. And that's how I grew up.
I did not know any of this happened to you. Like, I'm not saying that lightly. That's awesome. So, I like just walk with me real quick. So, you're growing up, Christianity's outlawed. They're closing all the churches. Your mom has to hide Bibles and hide people from worshiping God. What made you stick to God closer? Did you just know who He was? Or did you have questions? Or were you like, why would God allow all this to happen if He's, God, if He's King, if He's Lord? Did you have any of those questions growing up?
Well, I did not have the ability to think that way, and I didn't even land it for me. Like I said earlier, He is the only one that we have, that He is our Savior. He will protect us. God will be there. God will save us. God will do this.
Right.
He is our refuge. He is our go-to person. He was and is and will be our hiding place. So no doubt, no question.
Wow. I respect that a lot. Like, because we're in America and we have a lot of privilege to ask questions, but you came from a place where, there was no question about who God was because that's all you had, but there's so much abundance here. You're like, maybe I don't need this all the time, that's something I've seen in American Christianity, even out of myself, that I've had to repent of, like that's fascinating to me, how it's so sacred that you couldn't question it, but in America you're free enough to ask these questions to reaffirm what you want to believe. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it's too much freedom in this country.
wait, what do you mean too
it's
much?
Too much freedom that it won't let us see the blessing that we have.
Okay.
Even though I grew up in that situation where I shared. I was thinking that it's part of life everywhere. It's part of life. I did not know better.
Yeah.
Life
Wow.
exists. So that is a normal life.
Yeah.
And after I grew up and moved to my sister capital city, Finfinne, and while I was living there and with my uncle as well, and I met my husband and we got married, and I learned more what is going on.
Yeah.
About the oppressive system, the military. The military was taking over after Gada system that I shared earlier.
Yeah.
That was broken, and it was about like Haile Selassie, and then Derg, the communist regime the military took over the system, and it was a mess. When as a kid, who I have no idea what mess means. I thought it's part of life.
Yeah.
But what really amazes me was like my husband was trying to come to America. He got a scholarship from Emporia, Kansas University. And he got out from prison. He was okay to leave, supposedly. But he couldn't live freely. Underground security was following after him to see where he's going and what he's doing and everything. So I was seen with him. I was feeling unsafe. That was very deep fear that I experienced, even more than growing up underground church.
Yeah. Well, you don't want your husband to die or get imprisoned again.
And he got a visa to come to United States, and we went to airport and we said bye. He get into the plane. There's a curfew in Ethiopia, so we had to leave. And his brother refused to leave because he didn't really trust the government. So after we all left, the government took my husband out from the plane and holded him out, took him out from the airport.
Yeah.
And his brother, who did not trust the government, waiting outside, he saw and ran after them and said, "Where are you taking my brother?"
This was in America when that happened?
In Ethiopia.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to fly here.
Uh-huh.
But the government really pretended as if we really let him go peacefully. And then they told no one see them when they took him out from the plane. That is the way that they just kill people. I mean, he survived in the prison before, like a lot of his friends were killed. He was lucky to survive. Dude. And then now, when he was trying to get out of the country, they took him out. Their system was saying, okay, your brother is gone, your husband is gone. We assume that he went to America, but they took him out from the plane. But his brother did not really trust the government and waited out there until the plane takes off. And he ran after his brother and asked, where are you taking my brother? And actually, Danny told me he was in the car with security, government security workers. And the brother saw us, and what are we going to do? And they told him to drop him somewhere on the street close to one of the hotel. After midnight, they dropped him, and his brother took him home. It was absolutely unsafe for us to live there. So he decided to flee the country through Djibouti, and he said, if he leaves me there, I will be in a high risk as well, since I already being seen by the government workers with him. So we tried to flee the country through Djibouti. You know Djibouti? Djibouti is a border next to Ethiopia, close to Somalia. Long story short,
or a long story, make it longer.
Yeah, okay. So that journey by itself, we getting up early in the morning, going to public transportation, changing our clothes not to be seen, trying to fit into the local people. And anytime police come and ask me, where are you going, my heart pumps as if they know what's going on. They know what.
I mean, my heart pounds in America,
Uh,
so I can only imagine them actually looking for you.
yes,
Yeah.
and we managed to be at the border of Djibouti, but somehow there was a big fight a few weeks before our arrival
Okay.
between contraband business people and the government. And between that tension, we were caught, we were arrested. We end up in that tension. So we were arrested, kept in the local prison in that area, a lot of torture, a lot of questions.
You guys got tortured?
Yes, I was tortured. One of my husband's friend was tortured. I don't know how much they tortured my husband, but they beat him up. And they locked him and one of his friends in a room that was used as a restroom.
Yeah.
And I was left outside to sleep. I was the only woman. And I really prayed hard. I grew up underground church. This is the biggest story. Then I can tell you how Jesus is more. I found out how Jesus is very close to me. So in that moment, desperating, hard, thinking what to say, what not to say. How can I save my husband? How can I save his friends? Am I being heard? Whatever I say, they gonna understand. A lot of things run into my mind. But when it comes to at night, one of the soldier, the guard, was trying to rape me, and that created more fear. And I prayed, Jesus, come and save me. Jesus, come and save me. I was not commanding Jesus to come and save me, but I was desperate.
Yeah. Calling out, crying out.
Yes, crying out. So about 1 o'clock-ish, I believe, after midnight, there was a moon, bright moon. That moon was helping like people from far away not to see the man when he was trying to rape me. That's how Jesus was helping. And a lot of prisoners came and joined me in the prison from Djibouti when the train came and parked. Hearing the train voice gave me hope, saying, God, I want someone to join me. You don't wish anyone to come and join you in prison. But when you are desperate, that's what you do. That's what I did.
Rightfully so. Yeah.
So prisoners came and joined me. That's how I was saved from the first attempt of rape. And I experienced unexplainable grief there. And then went to another prison. They took us, they transport us, putting us in a train, trailer with a train. The trailer was used to hold animals and hay. That's where we were kept.
And there were animals in there?
Animals was that there, but grass was there, not animals.
Yeah, probably smelled like poop.
So yeah, the poop, the grass didn't bother us. Because we were in survival mode.
Right.
What to say? What can we say? I just want to hear what my husband would tell me.
Yeah.
They handicapped. Lucky as me and my husband was handicapped together.
Yeah.
The other our friends were handicapped together. We were able to ask some questions, even though guards were with us. We were able to talk and what would happen, what to say, what not to say, how can we protect one another. That was a great opportunity for us that God gave us. We didn't even think about the grass and the animal poop.
Not to laugh at that.
No. When you are in survival mode, you don't think that those little issues, that's not little, but it's a little at that moment. So we were able to go to another prison, stay there for 2 weeks. That is horrible experience. We were taken to some political prisoners. That's my Kalawi prison. Before we get to that destination, since it's very long, we were forced to stay in one of the local prison. And then it was heavy rain. Flood filled the room that I was in. I'm sure it was filled with other people but I had to really climb in all night long to save myself. I'm laughing today, but I don't know how I did it. I just don't know. Don't ask me. See, when Jesus said everything is perfect, that's what I'm saying. So we were survived that moment. We were taken to political prisoner Malawi.
Right.
That was when my husband was locked up for about 10 years that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And he joined his friends who was there for many, many years without any trial. And he was kind of happy, just, joined his friends, but everybody panicked. His friends were panicked because others already got killed. They thought I'm going to be challenged with the torture. I might not resist that torture and save my husband. And they thought it's going to just end up hurting them as well if I, when you got torture, you can just talk anything that's not even happened that can hurt others. But I did not even tell whatever I know. We were trying to flee the country. I denied. We had a document that can help us oversee. I denied to save my husband and his friend. And me and Muhammad, I don't know his last name. We both had to stand firm, even though he's Muslim. He's a very strong person. We were a good team to save one another. We were able to share love and lift one another up. Other prisoners were very supportive in any way they can. Thumbs up, smile.
Wow.
During interrogation, elderly prisoners, they just drag themselves out to support, saying, be strong, you can overcome type. We were a great team. After the very serious torture that I had underground church, that I really wanted to have a Bible. I mean, I grew up with a Bible. I never lost a Bible anywhere I go, but in the prison I did not have a Bible because they took what we had in our bag. So I had to ask one of the prisoners when I get a chance. She was dropping food in the dark room where I was locked up with two mentally unstable women who became mentally unstable because of the torture they went through.
Yeah.
One was pregnant. She was crying just like I was crying, but she was pregnant. The worst thing, her baby got hurt as well. And I was able to get a New Testament hidden in my meal in that dark room where I felt my Jesus was there in the dark room in prison.
I feel like a horrible friend for not knowing this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for those who don't know, like Mimi, like smiles, talks to everybody, hugs everybody, runs an organization, comes to church weekly, is across the country doing things, and I feel horrible for not knowing this about you. So if I heard you correctly, you guys were originally gonna flee by plane, but then the police took you guys, brought you to a prison, tortured you, moved you to another prison, tortured you again. And you guys were originally trying to leave through Djibouti.
Yeah, we didn't even think about the plane at this moment.
Right.
Because my husband was taken out from the plane.
Right. Okay.
So we were trying to flee the country by walk, miles and miles.
Did you know where you were going, or?
The hope is once we get into Djibouti, we can ask. When you go to another country, you say like, I ask for asylum, or ask to stay a refugee in the refugee camp,
right,
to have a place to go to. So since he has sisters in United States, the hope is to be in a refugee camp in Djibouti and then come to United States. I have an uncle in this country as well. He has sisters, so one of them can support us.
And when was all this happening? Like what years?
This is 1990.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was -7.
Yes.
Like I wasn't even thought of. How did you guys keep your head on your shoulders, I would be so lost. Even now, even after all that, I would be so traumatized. Like I wouldn't be able to like really function without thinking of the despair that that caused every day.
Traumatized, the trauma is severe.
Yeah.
Trauma is severe, trauma is there. We are trying to figure it out, which trauma is which, and to work on it. But trauma created scar, unforgettable scar, that this, even when we try to forget, the scar won't let us forget. So to us, one, Jesus is our anchor, like I said.
Yeah.
Two, it's about principle.
What do you mean?
Principle, believing to what we believe, stick it to it. When you have a principle and believe into something, people can hurt your body, but they cannot hurt your soul.
Amen. Yeah.
Okay. And while we are struggling with that trauma, at some point we didn't even know that it's trauma. We were into survival things.
Right.
We didn't even know trauma exists.
When you got to America, was it like a sigh of relief or
relief, big relief, and swimming in the ocean to figure it out? You know.
What do you mean?
It means like it's a big country. It's new culture, new infrastructure, and we have fear. If someone comes and say hi and be close to us, we think that they're spying us. We didn't know that was a trauma that we were dealing with.
Did you guys know that there's religious freedom here, or you guys kind
We
of?
heard, but it won't land easily.
Right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You know, so there's a time that we were even suspicious, our family members, when they ask, "Where are you going? What did you eat today?" I come home, Dan, why are they asking what we ate? Why are they asking where did we go to? Oh, they might be spy.
Wow. Oh my gosh, man. I could not imagine.
Yeah, so that is not an easy thing. What is the better way of thinking is having Jesus, having a principle and believing into what we believe.
Yeah.
And also giving up is not an option.
Right.
You know, if we fail, we can get up. If we fail, we can get up. So that is what resilience is about.
Wow, dude. Wow. Oh my gosh. I just want to thank you. Like not only for believing in Jesus so heavily, but like being able to talk about it so openly. You know, I don't think I'd be able to talk about something like that all the time. You know, it's for those of you who can't see, like I'm looking into Mimi's eyes and it's almost like she's showing me a part of her brain. You know what I mean? Like you're
Thank
showing
you.
me like I can see it now. You know, like I can see it on your face, and the fact that you can still like smile through all that and pray and love God, dude, that is awesome.
Thank you.
Seriously. Can you tell me like why you decided to? Well, I know why now after you explained it, but like a book is not a short like venture at all. So, what made you, or why did God tell you a book was the best way to do so? To explain this.
To write a book.
Yeah.
Well, vulnerability is not our culture, especially for women.
You said vulnerability is not?
Not
Okay.
our culture, especially for women.
Okay.
And I really struggled even sharing, but with close friends, with American close friends, I share. Others, they experienced it, but it is shame even if they share it. So
That makes sense.
for me, seeing the freedom that woman has in this country led me lead to start non-profit organization. We can talk about it later. And sharing about my book is if it really impacts my friends this way, if it's encouraged, inspired, and empower them, they're right encouraging me to write, to let me write a book. So my intention is to encourage and inspire, and empower others in any way I can.
Yeah.
And these days, especially after COVID, there's a lot of suicide, a lot of giving up, a lot of depression. Um, and I hope my book, my life story, it's about family, it's about faith, it's about Jesus, about community, about lifting one another. It can lift somebody else in this world.
Yeah.
So that encouraged me to write and put it out there.
I mean, just talking to me, I'm gonna purchase the book because I need to read what you're reading so I can envision it. You know what I mean? Even though you're painting such a vivid picture now, I think like it's hard for people to get into stuff like this in America. Um, and if it's not, it's because they're not sitting right next to you, talking about it. It's kind of like, oh, let me experience, or let me look through, a glass pane window or whatever of what this person is going through, almost like you're watching a movie, which is why I said that earlier. But how do you feel like it's going to connect with people who, not could care less, but are so disconnected from the type of tribulation that people go through in other countries? How do you think it's going to reach them? Or did you even write it for them?
Well, reach them means it is in public. This is on Amazon.
Yeah.
People can purchase on Amazon or Barnes and Noble and other major bookstores. Since a lot of stories are out there, it's hard to pick which is which.
Right.
So those of us who know each other, who listen to this episode, can just share it to a friend, can share it to their children, can share it to their neighbor, can say like, just let us read this book together, or would you please read this book? That can not only lifting up, they will be empowered to empower others.
Yeah.
Because we need each other.
Yeah. So I got a couple more questions about, your refuge and everything. What was so special about, your birthplace and your people? Because I don't hear that happening a lot in other African countries, or am I just ignorant?
Well, you're not really ignorant. The system hided who we are.
Okay.
Because before the scramble of Africa, before the British or Europe came and colonized Africa, people were just living in the area that they landed. So then the colonizers created that Africa map and then gave us a name. During that time, the European colonized almost all Africa except Ethiopia, because the minority wrote a letter to British and saying, I will help you to colonize this area. It used to be Abyssinian before they called it Ethiopia. And then Minilik, his name is Minilik. Minilik wrote a letter to Europe.
Was he like the governor? Was he like the head of state of
just Abyssinian, for the Abyssinian?
Okay.
He wrote a letter saying, I will help you, give me a weapon. I will fight for you and take over this country, and we can share the resources. Then the British gave him a weapon. When the British gave him a weapon, he came with the weapon and colonized the largest state, which is Oromia. Oromo land. It used to be called Oromo land. After 1990, they call it Oromia, which is we are a country. And then other small nationalities, they colonized, took over, killed millions of people, and cut women's breast and hand in a Bale area. Harmamura and Harmamura and Harkamura Annole is known in history because they cut a lot of women's breast and hand to dehumanize Oromo, my ethnic background. So after they won, Oromo was fighting just like Native Americans, had arrow and horse. But this Minilik had a weapon that he got from British.
Guns?
Guns.
Right.
Yeah. They have never seen gun before. Even they were running away from the the noise.
Right.
You know, the horses were just panicking hearing the noise, not fighting back.
That makes sense.
So that's how they conquered and took over Oromia and other small nationalities. Then they called it Ethiopia from Oromia. No, from Abyssinia.
Okay.
They called it Ethiopia. So it became empire to keep that minority in power with the British help. So since we were colonized by them, our language was banned, as I said earlier. We were treated as a second citizen in our own land. Our resources was exploited and taken. Our right was taken. So we were not even using our name, and we were not allowed to pass 6th grade. So how can people know us when the colonial party took over and took all the medias and resources and everything? We were not educated. They are educated. They were able to be educated because they were able to graduate 12th grade. They have money. They were sent to abroad for education, where we became slaves. So we were not known for many, many years. Now, because of those who struggled and sacrificed for freedom, bringing our name to the world. So that's why we're not known. You're not ignorant.
I mean, definitely not now. Like, what honestly, like you're genuinely a hero. Like your husband is a hero. Like,
thank you.
and I don't say that to anybody except for people that deserve it. You know what I mean? The fact that you're able to, come over and refuse to be selfish. Like, you know what I mean? Like after you got here, you're like, no, I need everybody to be empowered. Like I stayed empowered because of Jesus and because of his provision. Like, yeah, no, this is literally like a hero's tale to me.
Thank you.
Not
Thank
to
you.
make it like a movie or a fairy tale or folklore or anything like that. Like genuinely, you're walking around and I I've never seen a hateful bone in your body. You know what I mean? I've never heard like a bad word about you whatsoever. You're not bitter. And I feel like even slavery in America with African Americans and everything like that, there's still, and rightfully so, a lot of bitterness and a lot of, hey, we need this retribution. But you flipped it into, grace and blessing others and everything like that. Was
Thank
that
you.
inherent, or did you have to fight for that? And pray for that.
Well, I got this from my parents, my
Okay.
grandmother, my mother. Um, forgive others. Forgive others doesn't mean that people has to walk over us.
Yeah.
Forgive others means do not pay back, do not do revenge. So
Right.
I learned that from my grandmother and from my mother. And coming to United States and experiencing the freedom that women are having here, going to school freely, and making the decisions on their own at home. They're part of decision making. There's a lot of freedom that even I experienced myself, my husband. And working hard here, I'm not rich, we're not rich, but we are rich with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So having this privilege for our own is not enough. For me, creating the non-profit organization that is called CG Women's Empowerment, CGW, is after my grandmother. I named the organization after my grandmother because she was from wealthy family, but kidnapped and forced to stay with her husband. She did not have a chance to go back and let her parents and family know that she was forcibly kidnapped. So they thought her daughter just ran away. So she got disconnected from her family. And the wealthy man who has a power who married her kept on marrying another woman. And then she was not given a right to own what he has and experience as a wife life.
He was just being greedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she lost from both places.
Yeah. You have nothing, essentially.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And then she lost her dad when she was a child. And then here her husband is doing this. And then she had 2 children, my mother and my uncle. Determined, loving, hardworking woman who raised her own children and her husband's children as well. One of her son, she has 1 boy and girl. So her son, who was the second person to get a scholarship from Ethiopia and joined Oxford University.
That's huge.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
But he went back and worked in Ethiopia. Ethiopia government forced him to write false statement saying Ethiopia economy is getting better. Then he was in charge of the economic reporting.
Yeah.
For the country.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna do it, you know what I mean. If they're gonna force you and you're gonna adhere to that, they're gonna put you in charge.
Yes.
So you can falsify any type of document.
He refused it. He refused to write false statement.
Yeah.
They were trying to get money from World Bank or IFM by having false statement. So he refused. He ended up losing his life. To me, it's a devastating losing that kind of determined, hardworking uncle. On the other hand, it's better to die with the truth than living for many years with a false lying. So my grandma produced that kind of person and raised me and other siblings. You know, there are a lot of people who experienced what she experienced, but she didn't even get it. They didn't even get a chance to raise their grandkids as she did.
Right.
So I want to go back and empower those women. So that's why I started a non-profit organization named after her, empowering women by giving a cow that I can talk more about it when you ask me.
I mean, you're answering most of the questions that I sent you. So. No, you're doing awesome. Seriously. I'm genuinely fascinated. There's a lot of things I feel like we as a country, and we individually can learn from your story. Obviously the big themes, but what's something either from your book or from where we're talking now that you feel like people can really hang on to that we might not have talked about yet?
We have not talked about how we are transforming communities through my nonprofit organization. I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
That is, we are using Dabare program. Dabare means reciprocity.
Okay.
So that program was very active in Oromia before the colonization with Gada system. The rich people gives a cow, female calf or a cow, to a very poor woman in their village. Then that woman can use a dairy product, feeding her children, selling the extra, and she has to give her firstborn female calf to another woman in the village. Then she gives forward. So the rich person empowered that woman has to empower others in the village. The gift multiply itself.
Yeah.
That means that the communities, the people are not giving the fish. They are empowering those women to know how to fish the fish.
Yeah.
So we, CGW is doing that system, learned from local non-profit organization that is called Hunde. That non-profit organization empowered CGW, and we are empowering women through the Dabare system. We are giving a cow to the poor woman in rural Oromias. How do we work that? We collect donations here. We are 501c3 in Columbus, Ohio. We partner with nonprofit organization back home who mentored us how to handle this program.
Yeah.
I love partnering. So, so they select the poor of the poorest, working with community elders, because community elders are respected in my culture. Then that woman who got selected, majority of them are single. Her husband died or sent to war because the government forced people, the man to go and fight. Some man go to the city and get married to another woman and then left wife behind.
God.
So majority women, our beneficiaries, are singles. But if the husband is there, but they're poor, they will be selected as well. We want man to be part of the program.
Yeah.
That's how they be selected and come to the cow market and locally choose the cow they liked. We want them to feel they own it.
Yeah.
We want them to feel they're human being, not property. Our beneficiaries experience a lot of harmful practice in rural areas. They are like, they get raped when they spend their time in the jungle looking for firewood to sell it. They carry it on their back and walk miles to sell it. They be away from the children all day long. And the youngsters are at home. The older one take care of the siblings at home. The boys are become a shepherd. So we are minimizing all that. By giving a cow, the woman can be around home, around children. She can take care of the babies. The older one who is ready to go to school, we encourage the mothers to send them to school.
Yeah.
So that's how we are empowering women through the Dabare program. So if anyone would like to join our program, we would love to have them. If they want to do this kind of program in our cities here, in our communities, we can do it in that way as well. I would love to share and empower them in a way I can empower. And my team as well with CGW board members. We have amazing people who are leading the organization.
Yeah.
So that's how we are empowering. It's not only a cow that we're giving. Cow is our main project.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what else, like, what other resources do you guys give?
Good. So it all starts with the cow, right?
Okay.
Cow is everything for women. She's so proud, milking her cows, giving the milk to children, selling it. That is great. We share the love of Christ through our program. They see Jesus through our work. That is number one. The other thing is we encourage the mothers to send the children to school. So that when they send the children to school, there's no libraries or book rooms or books, even shelves. It does not exist there. So we work with rural areas, schools, and we create reading rooms by buying books from local bookshelves, painting the room, and then the school provides a librarian. That is one of the things that we empower the children through education to break through intergenerational cycle. We provide solar light bulbs. Children to do their school homework at night. There is no electricity in the area. The parents are using advantage of it, using the solar light, then they're not cutting more wood for the fire. We also build animal clinic. We want the animals to be healthier, the cows and calves. And then we are working on artificial insemination program so that they can take advantage of that and have more cows that can give more milk and more butter.
So you guys are pretty much making cows for people.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That was not on the website. At least what I saw.
We do the breeding.
Okay.
We do the breeding, but we have to train the woman, and we're still working on it to make it easier. Transporting, it needs a fridge, it needs means of transportation. There is no fridge in the countryside.
Yeah.
How can we have a mobile animal clinic type? We are working toward that strongly. We're not talking in public because we are in the process. But the animal clinic itself is helping about 3 or 4 villages that we are working. So far, we have covered about 14 villages.
Yeah.
So that one animal clinic won't cover all those 14s. There is some distance in between.
Yeah.
What else we do? We train them how to save money by selling. When they're selling.
You're taking this woman empowerment thing to the max. I
Yes.
love it. Yeah.
So we train them how to save money. They have small groups. They have treasurer and president. So we are empowering the women to be leaders.
Yeah.
So they have their own leader. Now those leaders are trained as a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
So the leaders, we have 110 leaders from 660 women. So those people go back and train their group.
Yeah.
So we trained the trainers so that they can go back and train their people in the villages. So
what are some of your long-term goals? Like, do you like in women empowerment and giving them all these resources so they don't have to fight, claw, and scratch, and go through, whatever type of traumatic experience they might go through just to get their children food and everything? Do you see a future where they're in positions of power? Do you see a future where they can huddle together and be self-sustaining? Well, like,
that is a goal.
okay,
That is a goal. As I said earlier, we're not giving a fish.
mm-hmm.
We're giving them how to fish it.
Yeah,
So the cow is training them how to fish the fish.
right.
So the goal
That makes sense.
that we're sending the children to school and providing books. That means they can know their right. They can be educated and find a job. Not the way their mom and dad live.
Had jobs. Yeah.
They can find a job, and also they know their right and fight back, resist, because those people are who educated, resisted, and brought us this far in Oromia.
Yeah, not just with violence too,
Not
with
violence,
legislation.
education. Education is power.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Africa, it's not in America. You say what you say and then go away with it. You will be in prison.
Yeah.
That
is a privilege. It really is.
Yeah. So we have those people who are sacrificing themselves, saying, I want to create freedom for so and so by sacrificing my life. That's what my uncle did. That's what my husband did.
That's what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Even I'm risking my life when I go back and do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Leaving a lot behind. So am I living for myself? No, I want to live for others. Jesus smiles because he's there. He's the one who is sending us to do what he wants us to do.
Yeah. When you go back and you're providing all these resources, how do you keep people's trust? Like, how do you explain to them, like, hey, I'm not trying to indoctrinate you with anything other than what's going to empower you? You know what I mean?
We don't even talk that way. Okay. Like I said earlier, I love partnership.
Yeah.
Because we are American. Now I lived here in America for many years. I experienced that freedom.
Yeah.
It might even slip out from my mouth. Something that I'm not supposed to say there. It is free here. I can say anything, but it's a crime there. So I watch what I say, even when I work on the ground. So partnership is very important because they know the government rule. They know how to communicate with elders. They know how to communicate with the people. They know how to reach out. So they are the one who facilitate our work. When we travel from here, we take low profile, we give workshops, we connect with the beneficiaries, we pray for them with partnering with local churches that they come and pray for them. It's not something we do that threaten the government position.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are humanitarian. We do humanitarian work, and we share the love of Christ through our project. So it won't really open anything that threatened the government position that they're fear of.
Okay, yeah. So you guys are essentially collaborating and partnering in a way to where you mitigate the risk of them being found out or them being imprisoned or oppressed again.
Yeah, I mean, if they talk about the library, well, we brought textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if others are in school, why not these people?
Right, literally.
Yeah. So they have no ground to say no. This student cannot go to school, so and so can go. It does not make sense. So we are providing books, we are providing cow, solar light, but actually the fact is we are helping the government. The government should really do this.
Yeah, literally. Well, I mean, after explaining everything, I can understand why, someone like you was like, no, like I need to help. Yeah, I mean, the government's not going to do it. The government's not doing it in America. I mean, not all the time. So why would they do it in a lesser world country, for lack of a better term?
So
You
true.
know, it's genuinely heroic. Like, truthfully, I can't, because I go in and I record the video for CGWE sometimes, and I see it from here. But after hearing you literally explain, no, this is why this happened. This is why I named it this. This is where I come from. It gives a whole different meaning to it. Are you gonna write another book at some point?
Say it again.
Are you gonna write another book at some point?
I'm thinking about it. I'm encouraged.
Is it gonna be you know more like tactical, like teaching people how to fish, like you're saying, or is it gonna be more of your story?
Not only my story, the background. It can be like the background, it can be the Gada system.
Yeah,
and then
that would be awesome.
Yeah, and then I will touch a little bit because I'm not a researcher. I will leave that to the researchers who really studied hard on it.
Yeah,
but I will touch a little bit about that, about women right, how it was, and what is going on now, and then how can we continue empowering, how can we share the love of Christ to others, and be with each other, lift one another up.
That would be awesome. I cannot wait whenever it comes out. That would be fun. I definitely got a few more questions. When you see like non-believers in America, what's your heart posture like towards them? Or if you see somebody in church like struggling with their perception of who God is, or they're complaining about like their coffee being too cold or something like that. how do you handle people like that? You don't scream at them.
I'm way better now, but when I came to United States, I was saying, are they crazy?
Yes, no, we are crazy.
What's wrong?
We're 100% crazy. I just
people have their own experience. We all have our own experience based on its level.
Right.
So it's my ignorance of understanding that I judged.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, right? But at the same time, no. There's some things that it's like, hey, dude, I could literally see you first getting over here. Somebody's complaining about their coffee being cold, and you're like, do you know that like people are being killed out here for the same things that you take for granted, that you would literally step on if you had the chance? Like, that's hard.
It is hard. There is a time God really prompted me to share in a way that He wanted me to share.
Yeah.
When people complain about that coffee, it's not really that coffee. Something is behind that they have in their mind. It's just like they just complain about that coffee. It's not really that coffee. Something is agitating. Something is behind. Something is underneath. So what I say, how is everything? Are you okay? How was your day? Yeah, we can warm it. It's okay. There are some people who don't have this coffee, so let us just be grateful for this. It just shifts. It's not.
Well, yeah, you also said it in a nice, pleasant way, and with a good accent. So that might actually help.
I think
that might actually, if I were to say it, they'd be like, "Who are you, dude? Get out of here!"
I think that accent is helping.
It definitely helps. No, the way you said it, I was like, "Oh, it's not that bad. Like, it's just coffee." But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that accent is helping a lot, because like she's a foreigner, really. It gives a chance.
Yeah.
Of course, we all are foreigners except Native Americans.
Yeah.
But still, my accent is more stronger. That gives me good room there. It opens a door for me to chat and talk and share. I just don't want to talk about me. It seems like, oh, I'm better, I'm doing it. No,
right.
It doesn't. Yeah,
like virtue signaling.
Yeah, it does not look right to me. But I just want to be close to that person, have a relationship.
Okay.
I have a lot of non-believers, friend. I love them dearly
Yeah.
because Jesus died for all of us. He didn't say, "You
Everybody.
don't
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
in me." He didn't say that. He loved all of us.
Yeah.
I love
Equally.
them the way He loved us. I
Yeah.
try my best, and through the love, they see Jesus differently,
Mm.
and they share and ask some things to pray for them openly, even though they don't believe in Jesus. I pray, follow up with that. I'm so blessed to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
So I try not to judge because Jesus died for all of us.
Yeah. I've never been out of the country or anything either, but I did find myself judging Americans and American Christians a lot for having these complaints. And I would be like, do you guys know like people can't say God's name out loud some places, without hearing your story first. It's just hard to be graceful when and you can understand this too, where literally everything we have in this country is out of God's grace. I mean, the freedom to speak, the freedom to dress how you want, the freedom to be educated, internet, but I mean, Wi-Fi connection, computers at the palm of your hand. Like, so when I hear people complaining, with or without a biblical perspective they may have, it's frustrating. Like, because you people are complaining about that coffee, for lack of a better term, and then they won't turn and help their neighbor, who is struggling or who can't eat or who needs a friend. So it was hard for me to sit back and really be graceful for a while. But hearing people like you talk, it's like, hey, dude, I actually have nothing to complain about. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. I sometimes say I'm so glad COVID came. During
really?
COVID, yeah, because during COVID we needed each other. People
It's true.
experiences the real isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Individualistic is common in America.
Yeah.
So people go home and come to work and come to church, just listen to the word and run out from the church. Don't even have time to
Yeah,
socialize.
you see it.
Yes,
Yeah, they'll leave early just so they can get out and not
they just
talk to
got out
anybody.
like time,
Yeah,
time, time, time. Yes, the system created that moment, like
it's
time,
true.
time, time.
Yeah.
But how can we get out of that and have moment for one another? During COVID, when we were out 2021, 2022, we really looked after each other better. I know
I get that. Yeah.
it faded out a little bit, but I like the way people came to be there for one another, dropping soups at the door, checking on each other, texting and saying, "Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you. Are you okay?" Type. It brought some connection moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that connection stays.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't take a global pandemic
Yeah,
for it to
so we
happen
don't want
again.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When people complain about Wi-Fi, I don't have Wi-Fi. I don't have Wi-Fi. I really smile. Say Wi-Fi.
You know the saying, right? It's like, who you really are is who you are when you have slow internet.
Oh, did not hear that.
That I'll send you the quote, but that really stuck with me. I'm not gonna scream at slow internet when you can be so grateful that you even have it. The fact that I can text you and you'll be in a different state, let alone country, and you can instantaneously respond, that's incredible. So like if it goes a little slower, I'm gonna be all right.
I want to have it. I want to have that because when I go for mission trip, that's one of the things that I share with. We stay in the hotel. We will have some hot water. If there is no hot water, just keep on smiling.
Yeah.
If we run out the electricity, we will have flashlight
Mm-hmm.
because electric goes and comes. There's no consistency there. Wi-Fi, you're lucky if you have a Wi-Fi.
Right.
So I'm like, we can survive without a Wi-Fi. We can survive without the light. We can use cold water if there's no hot water. So I give that orientation before we take off from here.
Yeah.
And I experienced some like, we don't have a Wi-Fi. Yes, we don't. It's okay. We will get it later.
No, it is an inconvenience. It actually is. But yes, it's easier to have the mindset of being grateful for what you do have and what you can feel and see versus complaining about what you can't. And I feel like even if you're not Christian and listening to this or watching, you can understand that. You know what I mean? I only have a couple more questions. This has been awesome. How you feel?
Great.
Good.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Just wait till these cameras come on.
Yes.
You get a sigh of relief. But okay, so let's assume that we're talking to a bunch of non-believers and everything like that. It says, if I'm not mistaken, it does say in the Bible that it's only because of God that we want the things of God, right? And we want His desires because of the stuff that He prompts in us. What would you say to somebody who has your type of heart, right, to care for people and like fight for injustice and everything, but they can't get with God? What would you say to somebody like that? They're like, oh, I don't believe in God, but I do believe in everybody having a good life and everything like that.
I will say to them, I wish you experience what I'm experiencing. I love you.
I kind of don't want them to experience slavery and torture,
Not
Mimi.
not that one. Not that one.
I almost cried when you
What I
talked about
want
that.
them to experience is the love of Christ that I have, the peace that He has given me, the love that I unconditionally gave me being by on the cross. I want them to have that. It feels I feel complete with Jesus. I want my
Amen. Yeah.
loved ones to feel complete. We have a family, we have a friend, we have a husband and wife. Everybody will leave this earth, but Jesus will never leave us alone, and we will be enough without Him. So I really call my non-believers friend to experience the love of Christ with me.
And to ask for it, right?
Yeah, heaven is not fun without you, if you're watching.
That was awesome.
Yeah, let us have fun together in heaven too. So I'm having fun here with you on this earth. Heaven won't be fun without you. So accept Jesus and we will have fun in the heaven together too.
It's a pretty radical statement nowadays, but it's true. It's like, hey, dude,
I'm
like,
serious.
yeah.
I dearly love my friends. Most of my families are Christian. Some that I don't know, I have never met, might be in countryside. I hope they will come to Christ. I'll try my best through CGW if I come across. But I have a friend who don't know Jesus. So I really mean it by saying heaven won't be fun without you, because I love you dearly here. And I appreciate for your friendship. And thank you for amazing support that you do for CGW and for me, lifting me up anywhere that you see me, sharing about CGW to your family and friends, empowering others that you have never met. CGW board members really appreciate what you do, even if they don't see you. Most of you come the fundraising.
That might be the police coming to.
Oh, no police.
Coming to get us.
So,
if you guys can hear the sirens and everything.
Yeah. So that's what I want to share.
Okay.
So let them join us. They can visit our website to learn more.
Yeah.
At cgwafrica.com is our website. They can email me at cgwafrica@gmail.com. You can share our website and Facebook page to family and friends.
What about like your Facebook and everything?
And Facebook as well. That is CGW Facebook. We have it. My Facebook name is Mimi Tadesse. That's me. You can follow me that way. And also LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. You can follow me on LinkedIn. Dureti Mimi Tadesse. Let us be a family. Let us be a team, creating positive impact. So that's my goal.
Yeah. What do you like? Do you still cook like traditional like meals and everything from the country?
I do.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I cook. My husband loves it. I cook once or two times a week and put it in the fridge.
Yeah. After hearing you talk for over an hour, it doesn't seem like you've ever had McDonald's in your life.
McDonald's, when I came to the United States,
yeah,
the best food that I loved is grilled chicken sandwich and French fries.
From McDonald's?
Yes, not other food. So I do not like any other food. It took me years to adjust, especially pizza. It took me many years to adjust.
What?
Yes.
Wait. All right. This is the most interesting part. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't know pizza. I saw kids eating pizza, and I thought that's kids' food, not adults. So I created boundaries there, and there is some food that I could not eat because it's cultural difference.
Okay, that makes sense. What about Chinese food? Like,
it took me some time as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's the same. Anyone goes to different country.
Yeah.
It's not easy to adjust with the food and culture. It takes some time. So I'm one of those when I came to United States.
That's all right. I mean, but to only like McDonald's for years, that's kind of...
Just chicken sandwich with fries.
She's like, none of this stuff that'll actually kill you. But yeah, this is awesome. Hopefully, we can do this again at some point.
Sure.
I know you're super busy, and I try and be busy and everything like that. This is honestly awesome. Seriously, and this is why I do stuff like this and have people like you come on and talk, because somebody either, next week or years from now will hear you talk and be completely inspired, and I want to give you your flowers now. And I hope that, when you're going out and you're going back to your country and everything like that, I really genuinely hope and pray that people look you in the eye and say, thank you. Seriously.
Thank you.
So I'm going to do that for everybody who hasn't. Thank you. Seriously.
Thank you. I really appreciate you for having me here.
Yeah.
Youngsters like you who are taking the time and sharing the word of God and making this world a better place. And we are so blessed to have you. And I'm grateful to be here and be interviewed by you. Thank you.
I'll cry later, maybe. Love you guys. You guys know where to find me. You guys know where to find me. I'll link all the stuff in the bio and everything. But I'll see you later. Catch you next time.
Bye. Yeah. Thank you.
All right.